What's good, people? It's me again, Tunji from Caesar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and remember to hit the bell so you will be notified when I post my tutorials. Okay, I really want to welcome you to my how to use background series. Today we are going to be diving deeper into talking about making design successful. So without any further ado, let's jump into today's tutorial. So this was one of the designs sent to me this week. So I need to let you guys know why I think this design is not successful. So let's go straight to my slide. So first, the artwork is easy. So there are so many things calling for attention at the same time on this artwork. So the next thing is the image did not pass the message well. All right, now the reason why I'm saying this is this. If you look at the background of the image, it looks as if the two characters are in the cloud, all right, and their head is no more on their body. They look more like dead people. The background alone is showing us that something is actually wrong with them. Whenever you are placing a picture on the background, you need to be careful with the picture you use on your background because all these things matters. And one other challenge I have again is that the artwork is actually for teen. If you check the real age of teen, it's from 13 to 19. All right, and these people here, they look more like 20 to 21. The artwork is limited to just some set of people, and which I think is not a good idea. So I say again that there are too many contrasts. All right, too many things are fighting to gain attention. The image is fighting to gain attention. The title also is fighting to gain attention. If you look at where we have the dates, the time and everything, you realize that the font, the size are almost similar. When you're working on a project with same size, it won't give that design the contrast that it desires. People won't be able to know what to see first. And this is very, very key in graphic design. So when you're working on a project, the first question you need to ask yourself is, where will this piece be seen? Who are the target audience? These are the things you need to put together that will make your design successful. And one other thing I always advise my students is allow more room for content to breathe. When you choke your artwork with too many information, you're going to get people confused. Making everything big on your artwork is like you talking to someone with a loud voice, and nobody likes it when you're talking to them shouting. So allow white space whenever you're working on your artwork. And I always tell my students that the fact that they call it empty space does not mean it's empty. If you check it very well, there's a huge white color on it. So when you're working on a project, allow space so that people will be able to find it easy to read the content on your design. Yeah, I know clients most time always think making everything big is a good idea. But my advice is when they make correction on your design that you should make everything big, after doing that, you can still come up with your own concept, do a mock-up of the two designs, and then send the designs to them for them to see the difference between when the artwork is too full and when it's simple. If it's an Instagram artwork, put it on the Instagram gallery and then let them see. Surprise is one of the things that make a good design successful. Doing something that is unexpected is one of the things that will catch people's attention to look at your piece. And the most funniest thing is, they will hardly forget it whenever they see you do something that they are not used to. So I'm going to be showing you the colors we're going to be using and the design brief. For this project, I'm going to be using the complementary color harmony. The application we're going to be using is just Adobe Illustrator. Then, so this is the design brief. And let's go straight to Illustrator. So I'm going to be using just text to show what the artwork is talking about. Put question mark here. Make this big. So the font I'm going to be using is going to be Century. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to make the color light gray. Make this big. Okay. Next is I'm going to lock the layer And I'll make a new layer again. Paste here like so. So for this, I'm going to use antique olive compact, and everything is going to be, I'm going to make the type uppercase. So I'm going to start with the who, then I'll put that in here. Like so, let's get this big. So I'm going to quickly show you guys something here. So I'm going to close the space. I'll click here and just close the space. The whole idea is to make the title form the shape of the question mark. So I'm going to go to objects and I'll select envelope, distort, then I'll select make mesh. Okay, so for this I'm going to be using the row is going to be 1 and the column is going to be 3. All right, so as you can see now, this is our column and this is our row. So I'm going to say okay. There are times you're going to see me add more lines to my text. So to do that, simply select these two here. All right, and if I click here now, you see that I have more line that I can, adjust the points to anywhere that I want it. So I'm going to hit Ctrl Z to go back. Typography are pictures of words, and most times I use this to surprise my viewers. When a viewer solves questions, he or she has a sense of delight and remember the piece. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is to add stroke to the text. So before we do that, we need to expand the text. So I'm going to go to Object and click on Expand here, and I'll hit OK. Then the next thing I'll do is to word the team like so, and as you can see now, they are now in one group. So I'm going to move this to this side, all right, and I'm going to add stroke to this. So I'm going to click on stroke, and increase the size of my stroke. Now, as you can see, we're having all this sharp effect on our stroke here. So to take that out, we need to click on here and just click on these two options here, and then you see we have a rounded stroke like so. Object again and expand this, and I'll say OK. The next is to weld the stroke with the fill. So I'm going to unlock the question mark layer. So I'm going to expand the question mark also. You can expand and I'll click OK. Then I'm going to shift select the two layers and I'll trim it like so. Then the next thing is to just position this where we previously have a fill and stroke like so. Alright, and I'm going to change the color of this to red, and this is going to be the red. So, but the opacity is going to go down. Zoom out. the size. So this is where I am going to stop. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you have not subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and remember to ring the bell so you will be notified when I post my tutorials. Okay, and remember to share this tutorial with your friends so they can also learn. I'll see you guys again in my next tutorial. Peace.